Before the video starts, I just want to let you guys know that over 90% of you watching this video aren't even subscribed to the channel. So if this is something you like, basketball related content, then be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an upload. And also please be sure to turn on your notifications so you don't miss an upload. And also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. That makes a big difference in helping this channel grow. With that being said, back to the video. What's going on, guys? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the guy who has been one of the most hyped players in the past year, understandably, Zion Williamson. I mean, why I want to talk about him is because I think B-Souls did a really good video on this, talking about like Zion Williamson and the hype that was, established with him and how it kind of died down. And I want to talk about basically why that was kind of dumb, because Zion is having an incredible season right now, and I'm going to point out the numbers, but I don't think even that does it justice, because let's see what he's putting up. Obviously, he's doing significantly better than last year, and even last year he was great as well. I mean, right now he's putting up, 25 points, about 7 rebounds a game, and he's shooting, I believe the true shooting percentage is around 65%, which is insane. And you can say that it's probably because of one thing why his true shooting percentage is so high, is points in the paint, which is, I believe, #1 in the league, like what he averages in points in the paint in the game. I don't know what it is, the number, but I know it's a lot. And when you watch a Pelicans game and you watch Zion play, you understand why it's that way, because just like, I think the biggest thing with him is everyone knows like how athletic he is, and just like the size that he has and how strong and like the freak of nature he is, right? But when you actually like watch how he plays and how he gets to the basket and just how easily he does whatever he wants, it's unreal to watch. Like, it's like how easily he gets there no matter who's on him. It's just ridiculous to think about. Like, I was watching, like, the reason this is standing out to me right now is because yesterday he played the Bucks, and that was a very good game. And even though the Pelicans lost, Zion had a terrific game. And watching him go off the way he did, I think he had 20-something points in the first half. I don't know what it was. I think 24, which is ridiculous. But watching how many points he had of those 24 that were in the paint, and just how easily he got to the basket, like, there's no stopping him. Like, the only way you can stop him is you foul him, like, super hard. But even then, because of just how strong he is, he can get away with stuff. Like, watching how, like, it's honestly, like, weird how, like, rugged he is, but then how smooth he is at the same time. Because when you watch him go up for a layup, he'll adjust in the air regardless of whatever the situation is, and he'll go through contact or he'll maneuver himself to avoid contact. And watching him do that the way he does, it's jaw-dropping. Like, let's be honest. And he's been terrific this year. And a lot of people, when he got announced as an all-star, were like, why? But then at the same time, I'm like, really? Like, people are really thinking that Zion isn't an all-star this year? Like, yes, the Pelicans are not in a great, they're not a great team, right? But him, like, there's no question about it. His numbers are significantly better than last year. His performance in the fourth quarter, especially when he gets the opportunity, is terrific. His size, his ability to score like at will, his playmaking ability, that's probably one of the most underrated parts of his game. Is he has really good playmaking ability for a guy at his size and for someone who's not even a point guard. It's great for him, especially on the Pelicans, where there are a lot of weapons, guys like Lonzo Ball who are shooting well, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, etc. Like, you have these weapons on your team, so for Zion to be able to be that kind of a playmaker for them is great. But, I mean, yeah, Zion has just been terrific this season, and it's so weird because I remember when, like, I still remember, it feels like yesterday, to be honest, when we were watching him do those crazy dunks in high school when he was like 16. And I don't know this because I'm the same age as him, but like watching him do what he did in high school and watching the transition go from like, okay, here's this kid in high school doing all these crazy dunks, at his size, everyone's like, oh, this kid does not look 16, he looks 26. But the hype from there to when he went to Duke, and when he played that 1 year at Duke and how great he was then, to the NBA during the rookie season, because if you remember, he didn't play during the beginning of the season. I think he didn't come back until, I believe, January. So he was already out for a while, and then he came back that game against the Spurs. I remember it so vividly because it was such an amazing game. He came back and he had like a terrific game, and he made like, I don't even know, he made like 7 threes. Not even, I don't think it was 7, but I remember he hit like 4 or 5 straight threes in the fourth quarter. And that was just watching that like continuously again and again and again. It was unbelievable to watch. And I think that's what started the Zion hype in the NBA, which, you know, it was already like at its peak, right? And to be fair, Zion was the biggest and most hyped prospect since LeBron. So the hype was obviously understandable. But then after the season, after the, you know, bubble and the Pelicans not making the playoffs and they just weren't a good team, and once the schedule for this season got released and we saw that the Pelicans had so many national television games, I remember a lot, the biggest conversation, not the biggest conversation, but there was a conversation that was going on social media about like, okay, everyone knows how great Zion is, I hope, but are people starting to, not people, but is the media starting to do this hype thing? Like, are they overhyping him? And I was hoping that it wouldn't get to that point, but for a lot of people, it felt that way because the Pelicans had more national TV games than the Miami Heat, who were in the NBA Finals. They had more games than, I think, the Boston Celtics, more than the LA Clippers, more than the Bucks, like, I think even more than the Brooklyn Nets, which is unreal. So I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they had, at least for the first half of the season, the second highest number of national TV games before the Lakers, which is insane. And a lot of people were like, okay, that's ridiculous. Like, why are you going to nationalize a bunch of these games for a team that's not even good, like not even a playoff team? But the reason is because Zion Williamson is such an easily marketable guy, right? It was why he was on the cover for the Next Gen 2K this year. It's why he's on Bleacher Report all the time, why he's on House of Highlights on ESPN, why he gets hyped in the media all the time. It's because he's that kind of a marketable guy. So I think a lot of people started to wear off of that, and people not forgot about Zion, but people were just kind of annoyed about the people on Twitter say the Zion propaganda, but it wasn't really propaganda. But the hype for that like continued, and people just started to lose interest. But then when the season started and Zion continued to play well, I think at that point people actually started to forget about Zion. Like, people watched him and watched how great he was, but because of how much the media, especially like on social media, how they saturate the feed with Zion Williamson highlights and Zion Williamson related content, people just got tired of seeing it. So when Zion was having these incredible games and putting up these incredible numbers, people just kind of dismissed it. And then when he gets named as an all-star, people are like, wait, what? I mean, it's so weird how that all happened. And I'm just touching the surface of it. B-Souls and Rusty Buckets, they did really good videos on hype and Zion Williamson specifically. So I'm just kind of like touching on the surface of that. But it's just so interesting how that happened, like that roller coaster. Because the hype from high school to the NBA, and then right after his rookie season, there was a bit of a dip. And then now he's an all-star, and people are starting to notice again how great he is this season. The hype is starting to come up again. People are watching the Pelicans now in these games against these competitive teams, and watching the Pelicans be competitive in these games. So, you know, Zion has been great for the Pelicans, obviously, but who knows what else is going to be next for him, because watching the development that he had in just the span of one offseason has been terrific. So I know that people are not going to underrate him again, and I hope that people don't overrate him or underrate him. And I hope that people realize how special he is, and people remember why he was so hyped in the first place, and why people were saying that he was so hyped. You know, the LeBron level hype was there. I hope that people don't forget that, and I think that people are slowly starting to remember again. So, I mean, yeah, it's just interesting to talk about, because he's been great this year. And watching him is obviously super fun, watching him do what he does. So I'm excited to see what he does next. I mean, shoot, I don't know if the Pelicans are going to go far this year. I doubt they will, but if he can will his team to a playoff spot, maybe not this year, but like in the next couple of years, it would be really interesting to see what happens with that. So yeah, I'm excited to see what's next for Zion, because he's clearly a special talent, and he's gonna be a superstar in this league. He's already an all-star, and he could be more, and the thought of that is really exciting to me. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I wanted to talk about Zion because watching that Bucks game, it had me thinking about that hype and all of that stuff. So I just kind of wanted to talk about it in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like on the video and comment below what you think about Zion Williamson, about the hype. Do you think that people started to overhype him? Do you think that he's overrated, underrated? Do you think he's just right where he is? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts about that. And if you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss an upload. And yeah, thank you guys for the continuous support for the past few days and for all this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.